Hi, welcome back. Well, as promised, we'll speak to the Morbi Association, India's largest tile manufacturing hub, that is. And the cluster will remain closed till 10 September. This is on the back of a slump in demand in the domestic markets. There are gas prices also, which continue to pinch the industry as a whole. So joining us now to take some questions on the shutdown and the outlook going forward as well, we have the Vice President of the Morbi Association, Mr. Vijay Patel, joining us now. Mr. Patel, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us. Well, before I speak to you about the shutdown, because the earlier conversations that I had with you, your association said that the demand is lower, gas availability is an issue. I wanted to understand what is the price differential right now between propane and gas, and how many units in the association or in that cluster have shifted to propane versus gas right now?
Yeah, good morning. Right now, there is 700 units in the Morbi ceramic industries. And because of the demand and supply ratio, we just shut down our all units. And currently, the price variation is very high compared to Gujarat gas and propane. As per gas price, at the 8,700 calorific value, the price is 68, and compared to that calorific value, the propane price is 50 rupees. So there is a very wide difference between Gujarat gas and propane, and that's why the industry faces a lot of issues in the Morbi. So now, next on 10th, we are starting our the industry. But the issue is that the price variation on this two gas is very high. So now we don't know how we survive. So the issue is that propane is a very temporary solution. So that we have to raise the price to survive in the market. But the demand is very less compared to supply. So this is the very bad situation for us, how to increase the price in the ceramic.
Right. Can you give us a sense of, how the prices have moved for both propane as well as natural gas? Because, I mean, since more people are now moving to propane, at some point this differential of 18 rupees will narrow, right?
But 18 rupees is too much, because compared to our the fuel cost, 30% of our total cost is fuel cost. So 18 rupees is a much more difference. So we have to increase the price. And nearly about 30% our manufacturer converted to propane gas. But that is a temporary solution, you know. So anyhow, we have to raise the price in the market. Let's see what happens.
So just generally, I wanted to understand, Mr. Patel, is it easy to shift your source of raw material, that is gas sourcing? You can easily switch back from propane to, say, Gujarat gases sourcing once you think that, okay, prices have come to, similar levels?
No, it's very tough, because you know that the price variation is too much. 18 rupees is too much, so it is very tough to convert into Gujarat gas.
Right. Can you give us a sense on exports? Because we've been hearing that the Morbi Association is looking to increase their exports from about 35% right now to almost 50%. What do you think would be the drivers for the same, and how positive are you on the prospects of exports?
Obviously, we have the very good prospects regarding the exports, because China have put the anti-dumping on US and many other American countries and many Europe countries. So we have the hope, because already in Saudi, people put the duty on our products. So we have the future in this American and European country. So we have hope only that way. But in that way also, we have the face of the freight. No, container freight is too high. If that will be down, so future will be good for the export.
Just generally, what I wanted to understand is, you will for sure reopen your cluster after 10th of September. That is till when your shutdown has been announced. Or still you're facing big demand issues, and that could actually delay the reopening of the entire cluster?
Yeah, that will be not a delay, because this industry is very tough to shut down, because this is the continuous process. It's very tough to again shut down or extend the date. But the production will be 80%, they will start, or some units will not start, or again some units will be going shut down. So that will process. You know that otherwise, if up to the demand and supply ratio will be not match, up to that moment we have to face the issue of the market. And regularly we have to shut down, or again we have to restart the company. That process will be there.
Can you give us a sense of how exports have increased for you from the US? I mean, any numbers would be, more useful, because we do understand, and Mr. Kajaria joined us this morning, he said that exports from the China factories to the US have halved. How much has it increased from India to the US and India to other places, and what is it likely to be going forward?
You know, the total turnover is nearly about 40,000 crores of the market cap. And in that, nearly our target is 10 to 12,000 crores of this export total turnover. So if that American countries will open and if the container freight will go on smooth, so nearly 50% we can reach the exports and domestic. So we can survive in that position only.
Okay, so as Mangnam said, we spoke to Mr. Kajaria in the morning. He said July and August were very difficult for domestic demand as well. It's too early to say, but are you seeing some offshoots here? Is there a possibility that maybe, yes, as we enter the festive season, there could be better demand in the domestic markets as well? What is the general ground survey telling you?
No, from the ground survey, we are thinking that because of the COVID, the construction activity was stopped and the tiles laying position is after 2 years of this construction activity. So we hope that because this slack is due to that only. But in future, after Diwali or maybe after January, we hope we get the good market demand and we can survive easily.
So what happens to the domestic demand then? What we're trying to understand is that from an investing standpoint, a lot of people are banking on higher exports for Morbi being good for large domestic branded players, the likes of Kajaria, Somani, etc. Is there merit to that, or will Morbi continue to compete with these large players despite having increased exports?
No, we can easily compare to this all these big large peoples. We can compare that because the cost of Morbi is very low compared to that people, and we have the very that directly connected with the market. So it is very easy to compete with this all big players. So we have no worry about the big players. But the thing is that there is no demand. The issue is that otherwise we can survive easily compared to that people.
So last question before we let you go, I also wanted to understand is from Gujarat Gas's perspective, since you said propane is a temporary solution. Since the pricing difference is so much, are you seeing more capacity coming in for propane? And if that does come in, will it become a more of a permanent solution? Is this an energy source or a fuel source that you can use for longer than Gujarat Gas?
Yeah, we have to find out some way the option of the Gujarat Gas. But propane is the right now 200 companies is converted to propane gas. In future 30% more company will convert it to propane. But the propane is the connected with the international market, so there will in future propane will be high. So we have to find some solution, or otherwise Gujarat Gas help us to reduce the price. Because right now they have the long-term contract, so up to 40 lakhs they can give the same price. In more than 45 lakhs, they have to increase the price. So better if they find some solution for the long contract, then we can survive. Otherwise, we have to find some other sources.
Okay. All right, Mr. Patel, thanks a lot for joining us and giving us all those details. So definitely higher gas prices impacting industries like yourself. And this is something we've been talking about for a long time. How gas prices have touched record high levels across the globe. Time to slip into a short break now. More news and updates follow on the other side. Stay tuned.